there have more recently been also exciting and encouraging findings from the IMbrave150 trial. This is a trial whose results were just published literally 2 weeks ago in the New England Journal of Medicine. And that is a combination of atezolizumab and bevacizumab in the setting of unresectable HCC. This combination was basically studied in first line versus sorafenib in a group of 336 patients. The primary outcome was overall survival, and this was met at an interim analysis, which led to the publication of these data. I will, in the spirit of being transparent and reflecting the facts as we know them as of today, I will say that this drug is currently this combination is currently being studied and analyzed by the FDA and has not yet received FDA approval in first line. But nonetheless, the findings from the atezolizumab bevacizumab study in comparison to sorafenib in a 2-to-1 randomization schema essentially shows an overall survival of 67.2% for atezolizumab bevacizumab versus 54.6% with sorafenib. Notice I'm not giving absolute month here because at the time when these data were published, the actual overall survival for the cohort had not been reached. The median progression-free survival at the time of censoring of the data that I'm reporting today was 6.8 months for atezo-bev versus 4.3 months for sorafenib. And so this is additional ammunition, additional good news for patients who are considering therapy in first line for BCLC stage C disease, which means disease that is typically metastatic to a blood vessel or to outside of the liver, and certainly hopefully adds to our potential armamentarium for treatment of these patients as the NCCN guidelines have endorsed. One question would be whether these treatments would be appropriate for patients who have hepatitis B or C, as our patient falls in that category. And the answer is these seem to be appropriate patients for treatment as the overall patient demographics in both the Lenvima, the lenvatinib study reflect, as well as the IMbrave150 trial seem to include a fair number of these patients with outcomes that are fairly comparable to the overall patient population.